Oh, right. Connect automatically. Go. And that should do it. Yay! Got it! After a few minor technical difficulties, got it going. Welcome everyone to the 4th episode, I believe it is, of Anna's Botanicals. Making cosmetics from what you have in your kitchen already, save for a couple of special items. This week we're doing eyeshadow. And so, there's many different options depending on what color you want. If you want green, you can use oregano, parsley, basil, marjoram. If you want like an orangish color or a brownish orange, you can use turmeric and cocoa powder. You can use ginger for a golden powder. Mustard. Just best to not do it straight. Put, a little mustard with cornstarch and don't get in your eyes. That will definitely burn. Anyway, we have the cinnamon from last time, and if you want a grayish color, cardamom is good, and it also smells very good. I have, what is this, European clay powder. It's got like a gray tinge to it, greenish gray, like the cardamom. And if you want red, you have wild beetroot powder. I would suggest, if you want to use paprika or cayenne, if you don't have wild beetroot, I would not suggest using cayenne or paprika, because they are peppers. They will burn, and it's not fun when you get in your eyes. And if you want a blue, I know this sounds strange, but red cabbage. Actually, when dried, and you can see I have some here that I've had dried, it actually gives you a bluish color. And I'm hoping, since this is the first time I've done this, that this will work. And even if it doesn't, it's purple. Who doesn't like purple? I know when you put it in water, it turns blue. But you have to make sure that it's very, very well dried. So there's some pieces here that are not fully dried. So I'll put them back in there. And it's very simple. You take 1 or 2 leaves of red cabbage, cut them up, put them in a baking tray, or better yet, on a tray baking cookie sheet with parchment paper, and just put them in the oven. I believe I had them in for 225 degrees for like 3 hours. And of course, some of them, when I cut them up, they were not totally dried. So you have to go on by sight. As you can see here, some of these, and you can hear it, are dried. These are not. And you can't hear the crinkly. You can hear the crinkly on this. So, what's Sterling? Hi, baby. My dog Sterling, with me at everything. But you can kind of see. Let's see. The purple. It's more like a mauve color, which is actually really, really cool. I'm not sure if you can see that. It's more of a mauve color. It looks really good. And it'll become even better, I believe, with a little cornstarch. So let's go ahead and do that now. And I had a call for makeup yesterday for a film. So my dishes from yesterday, what I was using, are still drying in the dish rack. So, that. My little spoons, not in the cornstarch. Oh, what is with me today? Anyway, you just want to kind of mix it up. And clearly I have more cornstarch than I needed. But you can kind of see the purplish color it's coming out at. It's actually turning blue. It's I guess you call it violet color, which is not bad at all. Put a little more in. Let's get the rest of this in here. Now this, in this jar, is what I tried to do over the week. And while it will make your house smell like cabbage, some people like it, some people don't, but you can kind of tell that's not fully dried. That's because I tried it with just the full leaves. It's not fully dried, and therefore can't be used unless it's dried again. Now some of these I can use, but they are overdone. Yeah. These are properly done. These are overdone. They're burned, basically. So I just wanted to bring that in here to show. What? I know it stinks. He's being silly. Anyway, make a little more here. And yeah, depending on what color you want to have the most of, you can get either this size container or this size container. Yeah. If you need just an accent one, this is good. If you want the full eyelid, these are good. And you can get both of these at Dollar Tree. A little shout out there. Yep, another one that's not dry. And that's usually where the stem is. See that that bends, that doesn't break. So. And if you have any questions, concerns, suggestions, feel free to email me, annasbotanicals@gmail.com, or you can contact me through the chat on there. I will be answering any questions or anything for a little while after the episode today. You can see that's purple. I know I need some music in here, don't I, buddy? Now, if you were to put liquid with this, I won't, but if you were to put liquid with it, you can see it's kind of a bluish haze. And you clearly don't want as much cornstarch as I put in this one. So. And I still have plenty of cabbage left on the head in the fridge. I even got the smallest cabbage there was. So it's going to do me a while. I like purple anyway. And if you want, you can always add a little beetroot powder in there to make it a true purple, which I think I will. That's just if you experiment, you see what colors you like, what color you want, and you just go with it. I mean, it's like a chemistry class in your own kitchen. It's actually quite fun. There we go. And I got these also at Dollar Tree, Sassy Chic little eyeshadow applicators to kind of try to show you what it looks like. And you can see the difference in color between that white and this, sort of. I mean, you can zoom in. I could always reach. But it's got kind of a grayish, smoky color, I guess you'd call it, which is kind of neat. And you can just put that in there. Where'd my lid go? There it is. Another Rogue non-dry, as I'll call it. That. And we'll put this out here. That's a purple. Okay, what color shall we do next? Shall we do... how about a green? How about we do a green? So let's see. I think the best one would be parsley. And you always want to kind of wipe out this. It's very simple. A mortar and pestle It's not expensive at all. And since this is almost ground up, and as it is, it shouldn't be too difficult to do. Just enough to make it smaller pieces. Go. And green. Let's do this one. I'm just going to use it in these because it's easier for you to see it if I can get it open. Next. It's one of those days. I've just been doing little odds and ends. Got a new storyline going through my head, so I've been focusing on that. Yeah, I've been collaborating with a friend of mine who actually is in the UK, and he's helping do the UK side of it. You can see that that's green. That's a dark green. We're going to make it a little bit lighter. Put that in there. And that's better. That looks better, doesn't it? You just keep mixing, or you can do this. Shake it. Very simple. And if you want a little bit more green, you can either stick with parsley, or you can go with, let's see, which one's more green? I think basil, maybe? Oh, basil smells good. It's green. This looks like it might make it a little more gray. We don't want that. Let's check here. And that's more of a brownish. That's marjoram. So you just, like I said, you just experiment. You see which ones you want. See what color you want. And that's oregano. That smells good. So we'll put this in here. And maybe I'll put a little bit of that European clay in, because that's got the greenish tinge to it as well. That I could put just right in there. Definitely that'll work. And I've got all these out here just so you can see it, kind of see what the colors are. That, whoops. Good old Spice Islands. And then we'll figure out the rest. That one didn't take much. So I'm not shaking the table. Go. Now that's a nice shade of green. Not sure if you can see that, but that's a pretty nice shade of green. So I'll take another one of these little guys. Mix it up. There we go. Not too much. There we go. We have purple and we have green. And blue, I'm wondering, because this is what, red cabbage is what was said on the internet would make blue. But instead it makes purple. I know it makes blue when you put it in the water. So I'm going to have to research that a little bit more. And I'll let you know. Let's see, what color shall we do next? Shall we do... Let's see. How yellow is this? Yellow? It's got a very light smell to it. Okay. And like I said, you don't want to put much in until you know what colors you actually want. Look at that. Look at that. just to kind of diffuse the mustardiness of it. That's actually quite nice, but that's a little too light. So a little more. Sometimes you'll want a little more, sometimes you won't. You know, it depends on the situation, depends on personal preference. That's why I'm doing these tutorials, so you can make it to your own shade. I mean, a lot of times what you buy at the store can be either too dark, too light, too something. We all know it's too full of chemicals. Let's see, that's pretty yellow. I can put a little more because I've diffused it with the cornstarch. There we go. What I may do, just to give it a little brightness, is I'll put a little bit of turmeric in it, just a touch. There. Don't want much. Time for the shake. See? Nice color of yellow. I mean, it's not too dark. It's not a neon yellow like you would think. But it's a nice subtle yellow. Good for accents. There we go. That one there. And yes, if you're wondering what these two little jars are here, this is gold. It's edible gold and silver. And you can add these to any of the colors. Silver would probably be best with purple and green. You could even do it with yellow. Gold would be good with yellow, but not necessarily purple and green. So it all depends on you. You know, let's see, what color shall we do next? How about we do a little bit of cardamom, and I'll put some of the silver in it. How about that? Let's do this one. Not much. Just enough to cover the bottom of the container. Ooh, whew, smells good. Yes, smells good. And that one, don't want to mix them up here. And again, too much cornstarch. I need to put the cornstarch in first. That's okay. Like I said, you're making this from the stuff you have in your kitchen already. But if you want to buy a little extra of a spice, go for it. I mean, they're really cheap enough. And why should we all, you know, help perpetuate the companies that testing on animals with their chemicals and such like that. See, that's a nice kind of grayish green, I'd call it. And let's see if I can get this open, because it's the first time I've opened this one. There we go. Take the glasses off so I can see what I'm doing. That's better. It's just easier sometimes to rip the label off. I know, buddy, I know. And this is sterling silver. It says safe use for face, eyes, and lips. So, you know it's safe. And it's called Stardust Micas. I think this cost me, I think it was $7. I bought it with some other things, so. Tap it down. Oh dear. You can see that that's silver. That is really, really silver. And depending on how much you want it to really shine on your eyes, you'll see that that's silver, definitely. And now that I've got it on my hand, this is going to be interesting. Well, That's why I wear these good old shirts. Where's my lid? Let's do this. Shake it up. Yeah, that's a cool gray. And with the silver in it. Oh, that would be pretty for Christmas, that's for sure. Let's get another one of these out. See? That's a grayish color. That's a cool color. Definitely good accent color. This will behave. There it goes. And let's see, what other color? Oh, yes. Next week we'll be doing eyeliner, which is normally black or brown, depending on what color scheme you're going with for your eyes. We'll discuss that next week. And let's see, let's do a brown right quick before we go. There it goes. Let's do a brown. Good baby. And you can use either cocoa for a true brown, or you can use cinnamon for a reddish brown. I'm going to go ahead and use the cocoa. I think a good rule of thumb would be 1.5 of the color to 1 of the cornstarch. And I'm getting it all over. Oh well. There we go. And if you want to, you can kind of see that's an easy one. That's a very easy one. And if you want to add gold to it or silver, you can. Let's see, probably gold would go best with that. Shake it up. And I'll show you the gold. Gold, sparkly gold. You just put a touch. Not very much at all, because it does sparkle quite a bit, as you saw with the gray or smoky. And like I said, we'll be doing the eyeliner next week. And for that, I'll be sticking with, probably brown and black and maybe gray. I mean, you can always use the colors that you have for the eyeshadow as an eyeliner. It's just a little trickier because of what you've made is powder, and what you want is kind of like a paste or liquid. Oh, and that's that one. And you can see that's a little bit better as far as the sparklies. There we go. And I will get these out of the way so you can see the colors that we've done today. And if you have any you'd like me to revisit, just let me know. We have, let's see, the sparkly brown, sparkly smoky, yellow or gold, green, and purple, purplish blue. And I thank you for watching. If you have any suggestions, annasbotanicals@gmail.com, or let me know in chat. I'll go into the chat room now and we'll see what happens. Talk to me, guys. Let me know what you want to see next time, or if you want me to revisit anything again, I'd be happy to. The videos will stay up on Twitch, and I'll also be putting them up on YouTube. For now, I'll see you in a bit.